Okay, so just imagine you guys are deeply in love with someone, but you guys cannot get into a marriage life due to parent doesn't support you and the social norms. But this couple finally able to get married against all of the societal norms. But finally, what happened is this bride's father murdered the groom in front of her itself. This happens because of the Indian caste system in India. The Indian caste system against their marriage life, and the father murdered the groom itself. So, good morning. I'm going to talk about the Indian caste system, the differences between the system in India and also in Malaysia. So Indian caste system is roots from the Rig Veda book, which is one of the traditional books of India. And this explains regarding the societal separation between the communities. So this system is roots from, as I said, from the Rig Veda over 3,000 years. This over time evolved into an inflexible hierarchy, influencing social standing, employment, and also marriages. So there are 4 varnas. The community is called as varnas. So there's 4 varnas. The first one will be Brahmins. So Brahmins are also called as the priests, who works in the temple doing the prayers for the god. And the second one is Kshatriyas, who are known as the kings, rulers, and warriors in the country. And the third group is Vaishyas, those who work as landowners or skilled worker in upper positions and merchants like that. And the fourth one, which is the last, is Sutras, who also known as farm workers and also unskilled workers. Apart from all of these 4 persons, there is also another one called as Dalits. Dalits are also known as untouchable. They are the most down person in the community who works as the street sweeper or the one who handles the dead bodies in mortuaries and so on. So this caste system remains persists not just only in India but among Indian communities all over the world, including in our country, Malaysia. So now I'm going to explain the 3 key differences in Indian caste system in Malaysia and also in India. So the first caste differences will be the economic marginalization. This economic marginalization is evident in Malaysia and India, but the severities will be differentiated in both of the countries. So in India, if we see the lower caste, especially the one I told as the untouchable ones, is historically excluded from the skilled labor and trade. Even though they have the skills to work, but they will be forced to work in the menial jobs and will be forced to live a poor lifestyle. They won't be able to work in upper positions and so on, even though they have the skills, because they are considered as the untouchable community. There are certain policies or affirmative action exist in India for them, but it doesn't work that much because apart from all the policies, the social thinking in the countries, the people's thinking is more precise because they more focused on the caste thing. So there happens the inequality, even though they have the ability or the skills, they won't be able to work. And the access to work in a high-paying job is also remains inaccessible for them. If we compare to Malaysia, Malaysia actually doesn't have caste-based economic marginalization, but instead we are being marginalized due to the British colonial era labor system. I think you guys all know that during the British system, we were separated due to the economic gap that Malays will be working here, Chinese will be working here, and Indians will be working here. So in that, Indians were marginalized that they will be working in the estate or rubber farm like that. Due to that impact, till now, there are certain families who are stuck in that scenario where they are considered as the low-income family, and they remain in, as I say, they remain in the low-wage cycles. There's no affirmative action for the caste-based system because in Malaysia it doesn't exist that much compared to India. But the grassroots efforts are being taken by the government and also NGOs to reduce the inequalities, the economic gaps in our country. So, moving forward to the next key difference, which is the inter-caste marriage. So I've given an example scenario in the beginning, so it's related to that point. In India, not only that one case, but a lot of cases is happening. They will love each other, but when they marry again, all the societal norms, they will be killed in front of them itself. Even the bride was pregnant that time when her father killed the groom. So it's a really sad thing, right? They love each other, but being killed because of some not a proper thing. So this significant resistance especially happens in the rural areas. As I said, this will happen if the Brahmins marry the Kshatriyas or Brahmins marry the Dalits, they will be killed like this. They need to, Brahmin means need to marry a Brahmin only. So this they will able to marry against all the caste norms risks like ostracism, harassment and also violence. Government also have taken certain initiatives. For example, they are giving financial incentives for the couples who are marrying against all the societal norms, which is the inter-caste marriage. But as I said, still it's not that much effective because it's the caste system is being very strong against all the policies and so on in India. So the societal acceptance is remain challenged in India. When we see in Malaysia, comparatively, as I said before also, in Malaysia the inter-caste marriage is less size, but because I think it's because of the multicultural environment in our country. Really thankful for that environment in our country. Due to that multicultural environment, we doesn't focus in the caste system here. We even more to see is some of them doesn't know even what caste are they. Even myself also doesn't know what caste I am because we doesn't focus any. We also are ready to marry. For example, younger generation are more ready to marry outside caste and also outside race. Also, we can see some Malays marrying Indians, Chinese marrying Malays. So this is like it's not a mistake. It's like a unity, social unity. That's depends on our personal thing. So in Malaysia, there's no caste-based inter-caste marriage, but it's based on multicultural marriages. So now let's move on to the third difference, which is the access to education and social mobility. In India, access to education also is based on the caste. So the community in the hierarchy, the communities who are in the down stage, the Dalits and the Dalits, won't be getting the access to study in their country. If they got the access to study also, they will be discriminated and get bullied by their friends and so on. For example, if you guys see this image, there's a group of students are sitting here together, but only one children is sitting outside of the cafe itself, cafe. This really happens in India because she will be separated from other students because she's from the untouchable community. She cannot sit together with them. She cannot study with them. Even they won't be brave to touch her itself. They will feel like it's a doser. They will feel it like that. So this really happens. Till now, it happens mainly in the rural areas in India. So there are also certain policies for it, but as I said, there's the discrimination and the harassment is still going on because of the society's thinking and so on. So if we compare to Malaysia, Malaysia doesn't have the caste-specific barriers. That's less pronounced, and I think there's no at all the caste-specific barriers. But the barriers is based on the colonial labor history, where where the educational disparities stem from socio-economic challenges, where we have divided by the British between the three races, and till now, as I said, there are certain families who start in the low-income family in the estates, and they are not able to take the education access. So finally, the conclusion. So this is Dr. Ambedkar. He is the former Minister of Law and Justice in India. He had said a quote that caste is a notion, it is a state of the mind, where it explains that caste is just a thinking. It's not a wall like a need to separate the people from each other. We need to be together. So in conclusion, by acknowledging these differences, we can dismantle the mental barriers and build a more inclusive society for future generations. That's all. Thank you. Thank you. Any questions?
Okay, I have a question. Now you are making a comparison between Malaysia and India, right? So you said that some in Malaysia you do not know your caste, yeah? You do not know, I mean, it's not like India you can identify who your caste is and so on. Alright, so how do you identify caste in India? Actually, you know that, okay, this person from Brahmin, the highest, and then this one is from the lowest one. How do you do that?
Okay, in India, they live according to the caste system, which is like Brahmins will live in this village, Dalits will live in this village, they won't mix up. So we can identify by that, and apart from that, now it's getting modernized and developing country. So they are starting to live mixed up, but they will be identifying with their birth, as I say. Even though they are not from that community, they still have the mindset, okay, if they work in the office, they are from this caste. If they work as a street sweeper, they are this caste. They will divide them like that.
To the extent, yeah, they have that type of discrimination.
There are some people in Malaysia also, I've seen them. They will judge them by the look. He's looking like that and his character is like this, so confirm he's from this caste. There are also people who's like that.
We need to say that even though in Malaysia, among Indians, in your community, you are able to identify which caste are you from. Okay, good. Thank you so much, Puvani. Very good. Thank you.